there, and welcome to the Total Woman Show. I'm delighted to have you back again this week with us, and you know what? I have my same co-host. I am so thrilled to have them with us today. Yes, 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 and have we got a topic today? I'm telling you, it's going to be great. So call your friends and tell them to come and view the show, the Total Woman Show. And first I have my co-host. Wow, you look great. Jody Tucker. Jody Tucker from Canada, education, enrichment. Yes, she does a number of things. Executive coach. Jody Tucker from Canada. I'm happy you're here, Jody. Thank you again for coming and staying over another week. Yes,
I know.
now over for another
I
week.
know.
And I have Deshawn Booker. Oh my God,
Hello.
Miss Deshawn, she's fabulous, founder, CEO of the company called Maximizing Your Magnificence.
Yes,
She's
yes.
an author, a writer,
Yes.
producer. This woman is absolutely fabulous. And so I'm
Thank
thankful
you.
you were able to come back for another week.
Yes, of
You
course,
guys
for
like
you.
me that well? You
Yes, we do.
You're never getting rid of us.
Right.
I'm never going home.
And then we have the famous Desiree Dubrow, who is the founder, CEO of An Empowered Network. No, an empowered woman. I got to get it right. An empowered woman, but she's also an author,
Yes.
producer, director, and really a woman of many, many talents. And she has her own show called Let's Talk Success.
Success.
Wow.
Yes.
So I'm happy
Thank
all of you
you.
guys are here again. You guys
Thank
are great.
you. Thank
I mean,
you.
you,
So
you, hell with a
Wow, I think we did this on purpose.
Well, you know what? I did this on purpose because you know today this was going to be a show where we're going to talk about what price are women paying today for their current images. And you know, this is a heavy topic about images. And you know, we're so bombarded today with the media, with television,
Yeah.
social media, all of this about how we look or how we don't look. And how we're trying to, you know, fluff up. I don't want to say all the words, fluff up, puff up.
How we're supposed to.
How we're supposed to look.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a difference between vanity, and I'd like to make it very clear, vanity and having a care about your appearance.
Right.
I think they're two different things.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the price that women pay, which I think might be a little bit of vanity and not really being able to accept themselves. But again, the media blitz and what we see in all the magazines, I mean, wow, you know, you want to put a little tuck here, a little tuck there, get a little something here, a little something up there, and, you know, and so
Yes.
it's really, I think, it's mind-boggling, but billions of dollars are spent on us. I think the men are getting into it too. I think men,
men
are,
are. Yeah,
are,
they
are
don't-
getting
it's not
more
as blatant.
into it. But basically, so I had this question again from somebody who, when they talked about this, and they said, is concern about your appearance normal and understandable? That was the first one. And then it says, do attractive people have distinct advantages in society?
Wow.
Good question. So stay tuned. Don't go away. You've got to listen to these answers.
What's the first one again? I'm sorry.
The first one was concern about appearance normal
Yes,
and
yes.
understandable?
Yes. I think, again, everyone should be concerned about their appearance. I mean, that's just cleanliness, it's healthiness, it's just,
Sure,
it's just,
at
it's
that
just a
level,
representative of
yeah.
what you feel about yourself. Because people don't take care of themselves and sometimes mentally are not self-confident, and this affects their self-esteem and so forth. So
Yeah.
you should have a balance, a healthy self-esteem, and as a
Right,
result
right,
of that, you're going to
right.
reflect
Right.
care about yourself. But I think it's the reason why you do that. Sometimes when you have these women that you say that these surgeries and things like that, is it because of what everyone else is or because of what you see?
Yes.
I think, I think it's a complete distinction about that. If you are unhappy with something about your body because you are, for whatever reason,
Yeah.
it disables you from being the most beautiful person that you can be,
Right.
then you can address that in whatever way
Yeah.
you want. But if
Yeah.
it's just because of something else, you'll never please anyone. I say there'll always be someone shorter, taller, fatter,
Yes,
skinnier,
yes.
younger,
Yeah.
older, smarter, less smart
Right.
than I am. So you'll
Yeah.
never be able to please everybody anyway. So you
Yeah.
start by pleasing yourself. But then you have to acknowledge the fact that each one of us is a gift.
Yeah.
And our responsibility is to enhance that gift and to live and enhance that gift naturally. Accept and enhance that gift that we've been given. And enjoy that and say, okay, this is it. This is what I got. And somebody out there will love it. 'Cause You've all had about days, your worst makeup days, right? Your worst
Oh.
hair days. Somebody will say,
Yes,
you look
you
great.
look good,
you
your
look
hair,
gorgeous.
right?
I was like,
Your hair is so pretty.
and you
What?
spend hours like trying to hide
Right,
the basket
right.
and here, you know.
Yeah,
I know,
day,
we've all
yeah.
had that, you know.
Yes.
So no matter where you are, you know, someone's going to love you and someone's not going to love you that way. So,
That's right.
you know, so please yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the world will follow.
And when you put yourself out there as a woman and you understand, I've just made myself a commodity. I am now a consumable, right? Your face is on things, your name is on stuff. And you have to be prepared, I think, for a certain amount of rejection and disrespect that comes from being bold enough to be
Exactly, to be yourself.
who you are. I mean,
Step into.
for me, there's a lot of pain around the idea of image and look in my past, and thinking about, you know, I was married to a professional athlete, and I'm the chunky chick, and I had to become okay with the fact that I don't need to be a certain shape or size to please anybody but myself. And so when I first jumped into being an organizational coach and branding myself, I mean, my business name is Jody Tucker Incorporated, and putting my face on things, that was really difficult for me. I remember standing in front of the camera and not being confident at all that the picture that they were taking was going to be good enough. Because at that point, here I am starting a company, but I didn't feel good enough. And it takes, I think, a lot of soul searching to get past the things that people put on you and the expectations people have of you in terms of image. To say, what will I do that serves me, and what will I say no to because it doesn't serve me. That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, because there's consequences.
There are consequences, yeah, absolutely.
But aren't we paying such a high cost today
Oh, yeah.
for the imaging? And what's behind this? You never ever thought about it? What drives this? Because we're driven by what we see in magazines.
Media, yes.
Now, the media, the television media, on the other hand, has another perspective. Because they're going to use people that not just look ordinary so that they can appeal to most of us who are ordinary in terms of looking. Because you notice they don't have some glamour chick advertising, except Burger King did. No, but really, when you think about it,
No, that was Carl's Jr.
yeah, Carl's Jr. Yeah, not sorry about that.
Right.
It wasn't Burger
Carl's-
King. It was
should we
good.
say that?
But basically, when you start looking at the television ads, the women just look commonplace. They don't look heavily made up. They're marketing products because they didn't want to have. That's a deliberate
Right, that was intentional.
advertising, so that's intentional.
Yes.
But some of the other advertising that we see is intentional on the magazine covers, in the magazine.
In the movies, in television shows, right? There
The
was a
reality
show,
shows.
I don't even want to say the show, it's a very popular show. It's in syndication today. But in this particular episode, the girlfriend would use her beauty for things they wanted on their dates, to get a table first. When they were pulled over by the police officer,
yeah.
he said, okay, now do that thing you do so we can get out of the ticket. So these things are also, the images are also being perpetuated in television and film. So when you're seeing that, you're then buying into the fact that, oh, okay, well, if I have bigger breast here, if I'm looking a certain way, right, and I'm showing off, you know, what my assets are, then I could have some type of
Leverage.
leverage.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that, I said, wow, they're really showing this on this. It's a comedy show.
Yeah.
But it was to be taken, of course, somewhere
Yeah,
lightly
exactly.
as a real thing, right?
Yeah.
So our young girls today, and even just all women, see that and we second guess. You know, we
Yeah.
second guess. Should I do something else to myself
Right.
so that I'm not left behind, so that I'm not seen or respected like I'm seen here in this television show or this movie or this talk show, you know? And it goes back to what we've said before, your inner self, you know, how do you see yourself? But I've had clients that told me, I didn't even know she felt this way. One day she said to me, and this is what she said. We'd been coaching for some time. She said, out of the blue, I'm going to be one of those girls now that the guys want. I never thought I was the girl with the long hair and the, the fair skin. I always wanted to be that woman, and I'm going to be that woman now. And it threw me for a loop because I had no idea that was her inner monologue. Like I said, what do you mean?
But the inner monologue is driven by what we see.
The outer,
and I'm
the outer
telling you,
influences.
I hate saying this, but I'm posing this out. Do you think that attractive people get a better break?
Yes, I think so,
Well,
absolutely.
statistics say that.
They do,
Statistics
yeah.
say that. I mean, statistics say as far as your workplace and job and advancement, but, it's still, again, that's the environment you're in. I don't think it's every environment. If you had to find one that's going to support you or create your own. Because it's that you say what price people are paying, people are losing their lives over things like that. There's surgeries, many people. I have a girlfriend that's lost her life, that died as a result of having too many surgeries, and she didn't heal correctly. I mean, many young people, and especially when it affects teenagers. I have parents that for quinceañeras or bar mitzvahs, or bat mitzvahs, whatever, are giving them breast augmentation. And
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes,
I know.
as a gift.
Oh, in
Yes,
California,
yes.
those are
As a
your
gift.
12 and 13
Yes.
years old. They start
Oh,
there.
come on now.
Or
Yes.
Botox. No, I
No,
know
they
of
do,
people.
yes,
They do. That's your birthday present or your
Absolutely.
13th birthday present, whatever it is. And so that where do you go from there? Because it means that if you start at that age, it'll never be enough. You'll
Well,
never.
I do know. I was on a show where we talked about the taking off from Shakespeare to have surgery or not to have surgery, but it was like to Botox or not Botox, or Juvederm or not Juvederm. It was something in that
Yes,
vein.
exactly.
And so I did a little research on that. And so I did some private research by asking some women. I was shocked because there are a lot of younger women. I'm talking about in the 30s
I know, but
that are
it's
going
good,
getting
it's good.
scalp
Yes.
surgery.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the price of
Yeah, and they
beauty,
can
the
die
price
for
of
that.
being accepted, the price of being selected,
Yes.
as opposed to something else, and what it's doing to our young kids today, our young teenagers.
So I'm now parenting 3 teenage girls, and we just had this conversation actually. We went shopping and talking about fitness and what's the impact of that. And my daughter looks at images of these elite women athletes and says, I want legs like her. And so then my question is, well, why do you want legs like her? And, I'm amazed at how well read she is around cellulite. And she's 13. I can't believe the things she knows.
Cellulite
Cellulite. Well, so then I'm having to explain to her women's bodies are beautiful and look different. And every one of them is beautiful and unique.
That's
And
right.
that's the point.
Yes.
So, sure, we were discussing a very specific image of this woman with these, she has amazing legs. She's clearly an athlete. She needs those muscles in order to do what she does. Clearly, she's a competitive person. That's what she does. But you don't need those kinds of muscles. Why would you have those? Well, because then boys might like me. Oh, okay. Now we're talking
Now
about the
we're
price of
different
beauty.
conversations where we
Now
are,
we're at
right.
the heart of it.
Right.
And even when we were buying clothes, my question to my girls is, do you feel good in it? Does it feel good to you to wear that? And I can tell when they walk out of a changing room and they're all lit up that that's the shirt we're buying. I know. And so then to teach them that you should treat your body in a way that honors who you are.
Yes.
And so that means if you feel good in it, then we should buy that. So I tell my daughter, I'm the only one that gets the veto vote on what goes on your body. I'm your mom, I define modesty, that's the end of that.
That's
But beyond that, it's up to you what color you want your hair, whether you
Yes.
pierce your nose, whether you wear shorts or leggings, that's your call. It has to be things that you feel good in rather than picking up an image. So I can see this transformation in her from what is Ariana Grande wearing? What
Right.
is, what are all these girls wearing on Snapchat? I should wear what they're wearing. To her discovering, no, who I am as a young woman is I like
style.
these things,
Right.
therefore I will wear these
Yes.
things. Yeah, her
Yes.
style.
Yes.
But it's almost a process of identity too.
It is.
But the cost of beauty is there's a lot of confusion among young women, teenagers. 12 years old and breast implants.
Well, it's
I am
because-
flabbergasted, but that's a high cost to pay, to ask young girls to pay.
It's a high cost financially,
Oh,
mentally,
yeah.
I was gonna
emotionally,
Emotionally.
right? We're not
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
it
the
is.
other
Because
ways
we all
that
are
we're.
at that age, are you
Yes.
worried about your
All
breath?
kinds
So
of ways.
it's
All
but
kinds
also
of ways.
it's socially,
Emotionally.
socially.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they're doing
Socially.
it for men. They're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Well,
You
why
do
is
it
that a
again.
concern
Well,
at
that's
13
well,
years old?
Because it's now a trend. Those are trendsetters. Who's setting the trends? Now, they're no longer just a fad. It's a trend. And I need to be trendy. Why? Because then I am in my own reality
Yeah.
TV show. That's really hot today.
And then, you
And
know,
so-
it's popular to
Yes,
be the
very
it girl.
popular
You
to
know,
be-
whatever
yes.
the it, you know, whatever
Yes.
it is,
Yeah.
I have
Yes.
to have it.
It.
Yeah.
What
And
is
so-
she saying that we wear today? You know,
Right.
what is Beyonce saying? You know,
There's a big
what,
difference
what
between-
is Miley Cyrus? You know, wearing? You know,
Right,
they-
and
really.
it's not, it should be their talent, it should be emphasizing on their talent
Yes.
and so forth, but it's
Yeah.
not, it's the
It's
fashion.
not.
And I understand modeling and enjoying style or you're trying
Sure.
to create your own, but you have to
That's
create your own.
different
It's
than body
But
augmentation.
exactly, well,
for
things
beauty.
that's where I draw the line. I said, if one thing that's close, when we
Absolutely.
call something that's just intrusive and is life-threatening, as some of those type of things, the medical things, that's different, and especially with women as we age.
Yeah.
All right, so then there's that
So
whole
where's
pressure.
that line, I guess, is the question.
I guess the line
I don't
is,
know about you, Adrian.
Some of those women
I know,
have
aging. Somebody else is
you know, theoretically speaking.
Yeah, okay,
Right.
as the days go on.
Right.
Yeah.
As time goes on.
We
there's a
become
lot of pressure.
seasoned.
But I have to say this, though.
The pressure of wanting to look younger.
Right,
you know,
yes,
or wanting to
it
look more
is.
Yeah.
youthful. Is just,
You
they
know,
all of
it's
a
the
sudden-
crow's eyes.
It's not
feet,
that,
you
you
know,
know, and
all
people
these
say to
things.
me, well, that's right, when are you going to get some Botox? Or when are you going to, I can't believe you don't have, I have one of our mutual friends says, I can't believe you don't have extensions. Like, okay, well, yes, I could.
Should
but
I?
like,
Right.
mean, like,
Why
that's
should I?
Right.
And it will actually be with longer hair, you know, because everybody does have it. If they don't have naturally long hair,
Yeah.
then I should have, you know, so it is. If people say that to you, it's
Yeah.
like, wow, okay.
Now, because of the norm. But we're not the only, you know, this is not the aberration of the Western culture. Because prior to this, you know, every culture had its norms for what the appearance should look like. And
Okay,
women
yeah.
would tighten their corsets
Yeah.
because it was fashionable
Yes.
to have the, oh, can you
The small-
imagine being
And that was,
corseted?
that was
Right.
fairly
Oh,
dangerous.
Yes.
And so, you know, but to
Yes.
have it, and they also, you know, had these corsets lifted up
Yes.
the bosoms, and they were, oh my, the papers, you know. And so when we think about it, every culture has had its norm for appearances and what price women would buy into that,
Yeah.
and it would become their norm. So we
Yeah.
have just progressed to the point where we see, and it's not, well, they call it, it's an aberration, but we see some of those same trends that
Well,
are happening.
yes.
And God knows what's going to be looking like by 2030.
Well, you know,
Well,
what-
you said what draws the line. I think the line is drawn when it comes to surgery. So self, you know, alteration of your body,
Right.
physical.
But
things like
permanent,
that. Yeah,
permanent
exactly,
alteration.
exactly.
But you know what I think? I think if
Yeah.
those ladies in the 19th century could have had surgery, they would have done it too.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
it
I
just-
just think
right,
it just
right.
that was the
wasn't-
whole point of the corset, was
Right,
to alter
absolutely.
the shape
You have to alter
of
the shape of
body.
your
the
body.
skeletal shape of
Right.
the
Yeah.
body, never
Yeah.
mind the, you know, the.
I guess
physical
the
shape
man
of the
would have
body.
to sort of kind of guess what might be underneath all those bosomy dresses and whatever.
Yes,
You know,
but
we
we
gotta
were
sort of-
mysterious back then.
Well, because they say men are visual.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
so they look first and then they, you know, decide that you have good character.
I'm gonna throw something out here,
Yeah, that's
ladies.
funny.
That I want to throw something out that may step on our toes as women are wearing these heels.
Oh,
The price we pay,
yes.
but we want to wear heels, right? Because when you have a heel, what happens to your calf, your leg,
You look better.
your pelvis,
Your
right?
but your posture is better.
But
posture
what
is
happens to
better.
our
Spoken like a woman who's wearing
With
heels.
heels.
I wear heels all the time. I mean, so my next book's going to be called, you know, heels, got heels in it some kind of way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I want
But what happens to the body? I know women who now, you know, when we've done that, what is the pressure over time that does to your ankles, to your feet, to all of those
I can tell you
who have
lower back.
issues?
I can
lower
tell you
back,
absolutely
right?
nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
That's
I can tell you absolutely nothing.
Right,
Nothing.
right.
My ankles.
You know,
So, but you are right.
Yeah.
is it
As they got higher and higher.
normal to wear
You know, we
heels?
were 3-inch and now
it's
we're like
not.
6-inch
Yes.
heels, you know.
Yeah.
And with some of the models coming on the runway with those 6, but they're not wearing that every day either.
No, that's right.
Those shoes that look like that.
No, that's for
So that's
fashion.
just
Yes.
fashion statement.
Yes.
But it is something to think that you will spend your whole life savings on trying to get a new derriere, trying to get some
Yes.
things done because of what? because you, bottom line, don't feel good about who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
And being able to accept.
Right.
And that's why I admire you. You're wearing your own hair. You don't have extensions. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
and it's okay because everybody has an individual choice. But I admire you for just being you. This is me.
This is it.
Short
That's what I
hair.
got.
Right.
That's
You
the way I
know,
came
I'd
out.
be
That's the way
willing
I'm
to
gonna
bet
go
you in
out.
about 5 years, everybody be doing the short hair, you know? Yeah. And so,
That's when people really want to be around you, and they look at, when you decide that you are who you are, and you're fine with who you are, suddenly you glow.
Yeah,
Have you
it's-
noticed that? People
Yeah,
are like,
absolutely.
wow, you look
Exactly.
amazing, and
Exactly.
all that changed was your attitude. I mean, the
Exactly.
rest
And
of
that's-
you,
you
I
hit
didn't
it-
do anything.
You hit it right on the button.
I
It's
just
about
changed
But I
the
will
way
have to
thought
say
about
this.
myself.
Beauty is in the eye of the
Yeah.
beholder, but also
Right.
in the eye of the beholder. Whoever holds, whatever, if you say that you're
Well, you
beautiful.
behold yourself.
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
If you say that you are, you are. If you say you're not, you're not.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, I keep going through, this keeps going through my head, the earlier comment about do more beautiful people have more privilege? You know what, I think maybe initially, but in long term, I don't think that holds.
It's not enough.
It's not enough,
not
and
enough.
so
But it
it
gets
might
them in
get,
the door.
Keep you
it
there.
might
Yeah,
get
well,
you
It might
through the
get
door,
them
but it
through the
won't
door.
keep you in the room
Exactly.
if you
Exactly.
can't pull
Right.
the rest.
Exactly.
So I don't know,
Well, yeah.
I think, so I think there's some balance to, we should talk a little bit about balance, like how much effort do you spend on your appearance? Maybe enough, there is a certain amount where it's too much, right? And now you get negative returns on it. I spent all this time looking my best, but it was too much effort there and not enough over here. I should have maybe
Right.
done a little bit more on that and not put all my energy in just the way that I looked. Yeah, it might get you through the door, but I don't think it keeps
there's
you in the
another
room.
issue that's cropping up though too, that I wanted to bring up. And that was just in a magazine, and really a current magazine, about particularly women of color wearing their hair natural. And having a
Yes.
flack on some of the businesses because they're wearing natural hair.
Right.
Right.
And it's not straight, you know, it's their
Yes.
natural hair, curly hair, whatever.
Right.
And, you know, and that's that person trying to be themselves as they
Yes.
are. You know, they're not trying to straighten the hair or whatever, put all kinds of this and have the extensions, but it's really causing a flack in the business
It
community.
is, and that's
Wow.
tough
You
too,
know,
because, you know, I made some decisions based on that. And as I, if I have to be honest about it, there's a young lady that had 2 photographs, one of her hair totally natural, whatever, and one was really beautifully blow dried. And for our website, and I chose the one with blow dried.
Yeah.
Guilty, because I thought it was just more appropriate, it was more
Yeah.
professional, it was more,
Right.
I felt it was more becoming to her, because it was
Right.
softer, like her hair is
Okay.
soft and beautiful. Remember, I've been complimenting you all day about your hair, how it's soft and beautiful, and she had it, as opposed to, like, you know,
Right.
sister
Right.
locks and all that good
Right.
stuff. So,
Well, because-
so,
I mean, let's face it, we are in a society that buys into appearance.
Oh, yeah?
And that's the
Absolutely.
first thing people judge you on when they first see you, is
Yes.
how you look. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
and you're, not only you, but your
So that's
team,
kind of
too.
ironic that I'm the
Yeah,
one with the
your
crazy
team.
hair.
And your team.
Yeah, I was wondering about it.
You know, and I have my youngest sister is a hairdresser. She's a fantastically talented healer when it comes to dealing with people and how they feel and look when they're sitting in her chair. And I posted, this is funny, I posted a picture of myself on Facebook. I had bedhead. Okay, I hadn't even done my hair. Hey, I'm having a coffee. And she called me instantly and said, don't you ever straighten your hair again. You look amazing. That's an amazing look for you. I'm like, okay. And from that point on, I stopped straightening my hair.
And it was beautiful.
So, and it was her that said to me, so if you look at my website, I have nothing but straight hair. And it was a comment from, I consider her to
Yeah,
be an
but when I
authority.
saw you,
She's
when I saw you, you had this hair.
I
and
had
said, there's my
crazy
rebel
hair.
that's coming on the show.
Yeah, and that is true because I finally decided I was going to be my authentic self. Now, granted, I still dye my hair blonde, so it's not all the way authentic, but
It's what you like.
It's
it.
what you
But-
like.
It's what you like.
the choice to have wild hair was a deliberate one on my part, to not go the other direction. And now when I look at my website, I'm thinking, that's not really me. That looks awful polished. That's not really me. I'm a little more gritty than that. I think I need new headshots.
Yeah.
With crazy curly hair. I don't know.
I
But
just
see, it's
think-
funny because she said, there's the girl, my rebel,
Right.
the girl hair. So she
Yeah.
immediately identified you as a rebel. So if it was a company, a corporation that may thought, okay, I didn't want a rebel in our corridors.
But
Maybe
basically, that's
not.
what
Maybe,
she,
maybe
but
not.
basically,
Maybe,
that's
maybe,
what she
maybe they
is.
should enjoy that,
Yeah.
you know, that
Yeah.
spirit, that energy.
Yeah.
But, you know, some people, they're just stuck, you know,
Yeah.
in the book. So it's a risk, but it's a
It
risk
is a
either
risk.
way.
Yeah.
Either way, you know, you can't, again, you
But
can
image
please
is a big-
yourself, but you can please
And
yourself.
image is just a
big,
big
And you're
yes.
happy about that, and that's all that
Image
And
matters.
I think it's okay,
Image
and
is
I'm going to
huge.
say this to the viewers, that I'm pro about being concerned, but I think it's the degree of concern.
Yeah,
It's not about the
that's what I'm
concern,
thinking too.
but it's the degree of concern about appearance. And so I am concerned, and pardon the pun on that word, but have some trepidations about where I see things going, particularly with the young women, with
Yeah.
less and less.
Yeah.
Like less is more, but it's not, less and less. And some of the things that are just not appropriate, particularly for our millennials and for some of our young girls. And so
Right.
when it comes to office attire, I have a thing.
Yes, they just.
I really
right,
do.
they're-
Yeah.
right.
If you have to
Start
go to the
to
file cabinet, if you have to go someplace and you've got to stoop over and,
Right.
it's just really unsightly,
Yeah.
And so, and you can't tell me a person isn't aware of that. You can't tell me they're not aware of that.
It's on your body,
So-
you're responsible for
so
it.
I think it's reasonable to say that the cost can be high,
Yeah.
because it can lose you an opportunity, whereas maybe a concern is okay, but overly so. And I would say, that's just my personal opinion. Like I said, this is a show where we talk about our concerns, these are our statements, that you can accept or not accept them, because they are our own uniquely to share. So we're only sharing with you some views about the costs that occur today with women about their appearance, and men. So what it says about men are not usually as serious about their appearances as women, but there is a concern. With gay men, there is much more of a concern. So I've been told, I did my little research. I like doing that,
That's good.
And it may not be, a lot of it sometimes may be not as valid, because I can't say this was based on 60,000 respondents. But most of it, I can trust some of the researchers and some of the pollsters who talk about this issue. So it was worth my sort of looking at. Married women seem to be more content with how they look, and the cost isn't as great in terms of getting all the work done and all of this,
Right.
which might be a show that we'll talk about. Should women have surgeries or should they not? I think, there may be.
Oh, wow. We
So-
gotta go there. Yeah. Should there.
That's a show.
I do,
That
I do
is.
want to do that show, because I think it isn't just popular here in the United States, it's popular in other countries too.
Yes.
There are many countries where the women can afford to go to London, they can afford to go to different places and get their work done.
Yeah.
There are a lot of women from other nations and countries that come over here to Beverly Hills and get stuff done. There's a lot of stuff that's being done, and we need to talk about that sometimes. These are some issues
agree,
that are not
yeah.
ever talked about. I'd like to have Dr. Gail Jackson, who's a good mutual friend of ours, on the show to talk about some of the issues that women grapple with in terms of changes, body changes, and things that are happening with us, and some of the things that we can really maybe help some other women about these issues that maybe don't talk about them.
Another thing that I'd like to add, though, too, when you talk about different countries and different cultures, there are other countries and cultures where they totally embrace you as you are. And if I've dated men that are from outside the United States, and they don't want you wearing makeup, they
Yes,
don't want
yes.
you with your hair done. They love you. They
Right.
truly, truly
Yes,
love you.
yes.
All natural. And they wouldn't imagine you even putting makeup on or even
Right.
doing anything like that, especially anything surgically to alter yourself.
Do you think it's because they're accustomed to
I think
that?
it's just the
They're
mindset.
accustomed to
I think-
women?
I think
The
that-
mindset of
I think
women
it's
just
the-
not doing
I think
all
it's,
of
I
that?
think it's just the mindset of seeing beauty as it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you look at a flower. The flower is beautiful as it is. Look at animals. The animals beautiful as it is, if he chooses to be so. And they didn't do anything to change anything. That's who they were born.
But I think
that's
it's
how they-
us that have to really feel inside that I'm beautiful without makeup.
Well, you have to.
No, we got, oh my God, I don't want you to see me in the morning
no,
until I get the stuff
That's
on.
also mindset, because it's a whole new mindset now in naturalism. I read that, and I was telling my team about it. It's like, the other girls, we don't wear makeup, unless we need to. And I said, because I'm embracing bettering my skin, my natural skin, my coloring, so I don't need to wear makeup unless I want to.
Wow.
Because it's truly, I'm able to look at them and see their beauty, and it's
Yeah.
more truly beautiful,
Okay.
without
Yeah.
the makeup. So, yeah.
I'm glad you all went right there. Today, Alicia Keys, singer, actress, is no longer wearing makeup.
Yeah, a lot of
She's
them.
on television, though.
Yeah.
She's not doing it off camera. She's on one of the
Yes.
television
Yeah.
shows,
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
what is
Yeah.
it called? The Voice show. And she has actually declared, though, that she's not. So now that someone in the limelight has said so,
Maybe,
Right.
we're
People
now
are-
going to see a
Yeah.
shifting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then she said no, and I saw her the other night on an award show. no makeup on. But I said, we've been doing it all along. Other people do that as well. So now that there may be a shifting taking place, right?
Right.
That our young girls, will see.
But let's
made for it. We'll see.
We'll start.
Let's face it, as I close the show, Alicia Keys is naturally beautiful. Okay, with makeup or without makeup. I mean, so we just
Yeah.
have to give her her
Yeah,
due.
yeah.
So that's okay. Some of us may need a little help.
Somebody's not going to find her that. Somebody's not going to feel that way.
I know.
Yeah.
So you just
Somebody's
have to
not going to
see
feel
it.
that they
Yeah,
look
right.
amazing.
She's
Because
you
some people
know.
I think are amazing.
Yeah.
And people say, oh my goodness.
But bottom line, it's how you feel about
Yes.
you. It's
Yes.
absolutely okay.
Yeah.
Whether you want to be, made up, or you don't want to wear makeup, or you want to get something done. I think it has to do, it's an individual decision, and then that's between you and your creator, and your husband. You have one. So, but I want to thank you guys today.
Thank you.
For being on the show to talk about this really important topic.
Great
But we are going to come
conversation,
back,
yes.
and we are really going to, I think, broach that subject about women, other issues that we
Okay.
want to discuss, because I think
Let's
it's so
do it.
important. Because this, remember, is the Total Woman Show. And I want to thank you for listening to Dr. Barbara Young and my host today, Miss Jody Tucker, Mr. Sean Booker, and Miss Desiree Dubrow. So thank you guys again.
Thank
for being on the
you.
show.
Thank you.
We appreciate your feedback. I want you to write and tell us. You can email me and Dr. B at transformationsuccesstv.com. I got it right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
and we'll see you next
you.
week. We've got another
Yes.
great show for you.
Great.
Awesome. Yeah.